The Bosnian War from 1992 to 1995 claimed over 100,000 lives and shattered communities across the heart of Europe. I witnessed Sarajevo's shelling, columns of refugees, and the devastation of Srebrenica, where over 8,000 Bosnian Muslim men and boys were murdered in days. This was not a distant conflict. It was fought in neighborhoods, among people who once lived side by side. The world watched, often paralyzed, as a nation was torn apart. Images of emaciated prisoners, burning libraries, and mass graves revealed humanity's darkest side. For those on the ground, life became a relentless cycle of fear and loss. Yet, amid the horror, something remarkable emerged. Ordinary people, teachers, doctors, farmers, refused to surrender their humanity. Communities organized, not waiting for outside help, but saving themselves and each other. This is the story often overlooked. How community support became Bosnia's lifeblood. Even as institutions failed, the bonds between people forged an unbreakable resistance. The spirit of a nation was kept alive not by grand strategies, but by small, courageous acts of solidarity. Against all odds, people reclaimed their homeland, one village, one street, one life at a time. This is the story of Bosnia's survival. When the state collapsed and the assault began, Bosnia's first defense was the neighborhood. People who had lived together for decades organized quickly, determined to protect their homes and families. These weren't soldiers, but fathers, sons, and neighbors, armed with whatever they could find. They set up watch posts, shared information, and created warning systems to alert each other of danger. In besieged cities, residents fortified buildings, shared food and water, and cared for the vulnerable. This grassroots defense was born of necessity and trust. The risks were enormous. Being caught meant certain death, but they persisted. I met a baker near Tuzla who said, "They can burn our fields, but not our dignity. As long as we stand together, we are still here." Across Bosnia, this quiet defiance became the backbone of resistance. It wasn't just about fighting, it was about preserving order and community in chaos. These groups protected food convoys, guarded clinics, and gave people a sense of security. Their message was clear: this land is our home, and we will not abandon it. Hyperlocal defense, rooted in shared history, was the first step in reclaiming Bosnia. It showed that unity and courage could stand against overwhelming force. Community became the shield that protected Bosnia's soul. As violence escalated, safe spaces became essential. With millions displaced, communities created their own sanctuaries. Schools, mosques, churches, and abandoned factories turned into shelters. These were informal havens, organized by locals for locals. People who had lost everything shared what little they had, crowding together for survival. Basements became makeshift schools, offering children a brief escape from war. Women led the way, managing food, caring for the sick, and supporting orphans. Community kitchens sprang up, cooking meals from whatever could be found. These acts of nurturing were resistance, proof that life would not be extinguished. Sanctuaries were often targeted, but the work continued. In these crowded rooms, the bonds of society were reforged through shared struggle. Even surrounded by destruction, people created pockets of hope and solidarity. Beyond the front lines, another resistance emerged: activists, journalists, and artists fighting for truth and identity. Clandestine newspapers and underground radio stations countered propaganda and documented atrocities. Brave journalists smuggled reports out, exposing the world to Bosnia's reality. Sarajevo's cultural life persisted. Plays, art, and even a beauty pageant under siege declared, "We are still here." These acts were not frivolous. They were defiant statements of Bosnia's multi-ethnic identity. The risks were immense, imprisonment or worse, but the truth had to survive. This resistance preserved memory and hope, reminding people what they were fighting for. Grassroots activists organized protests, documented abuses, and connected with the outside world. They were the conscience of the resistance, ensuring moral principles endured. Armed with pens and cameras, they were as vital as those on the front lines. Their work laid the foundation for Bosnia's future, They fought to save the idea of Bosnia itself. As the war's horrors spread, the Bosnian diaspora became a lifeline. Scattered across the globe, they mobilized quickly, fundraising, sending aid, and advocating for their homeland. They organized shipments of food, medicine, and clothing, navigating complex borders to reach those in need. Diaspora communities lobbied governments, staged protests, and fought to lift the arms embargo. They countered propaganda, shared stories with international media, and kept Bosnia's plight in the spotlight. Their homes became command centers, their efforts a source of moral and material support. For those inside Bosnia, knowing they weren't forgotten gave strength to resist. Every dollar, every protest, every letter was a signal of solidarity. The diaspora's connection helped sustain Bosnia's will to survive. The spirit of community didn't end with the war. It lives on in a new generation. Many young Bosnians, children of war or refugees, now lead efforts for peace and progress. They organize fundraisers, use social media to mobilize, and create documentaries and nonprofits. One Bosnian American student's campaign for the Red Cross raised thousands, showing the power of personal history. Across the world, youth are countering divisive rhetoric and building bridges. Their activism is a living bridge between past and present, defending the peace their parents fought for. For them, the war is not distant history, it's part of their identity. Their work honors past sacrifices and shapes Bosnia's future. They're not waiting for institutions, they're leading the way. The commitment to community is being passed down and adapted for a new era. Community support during the war was about more than survival. It was about preserving Bosnia's identity. For centuries, Bosnia was defined by pluralism, mosques, churches, and synagogues side by side. The war aimed to destroy this multi-ethnic fabric. By coming together, people made a powerful statement: we refuse to be divided. Everyday acts of solidarity, sheltering neighbors, treating the wounded, were rebellion against ethnic separation. The grassroots defense, shelters, and diaspora networks all fought for a shared society. Bosnia's resistance was about defending diversity as a strength. These efforts reclaimed not just territory, but the idea of a multi-ethnic Bosnia. The solidarity shown became the foundation for rebuilding. Bosnia's identity survived in the hearts and actions of its people. Today, the echoes of war are growing louder in Bosnia. 3 decades after peace, divisive rhetoric and secessionist threats have returned. Leaders like Milorad Dodik push for breakup, risking renewed conflict. Genocide denial, militarization, and hate crimes are on the rise. For those who remember the 1990s, the warning signs are chillingly familiar. Yet once again, community response offers hope. Civil society, journalists, and citizens are organizing for peace and accountability. Advocacy groups urge international action to prevent another tragedy. The spirit of grassroots activism is being called upon again. Bosnia's future depends on supporting those working for unity. The lessons of the past show the power of community in the face of aggression. Bosnia's story is a lesson in resilience and the strength of community. Ordinary people, defenders, caregivers, activists, and the diaspora showed what's possible when united. Their courage saved a nation and preserved hope for a shared future. These stories remind us that history is shaped by collective action, not just leaders. Bosnia survived because its people refused to be broken. As new challenges arise, these lessons are more important than ever. They are a call to support those working for peace and justice everywhere. The fight for a tolerant, pluralistic society is universal. Subscribe for more real stories of resilience and hope.